Hi everybody, I'm Tamara and this is 30-Day Booty. It's day 11 and we're gonna get back after some squats today and some hip thrusts. So I have my heavy weight today. I have a kettlebell, a dumbbell is okay. No weight is also okay. And then you'll see behind me, I've got a bench. If you don't have a bench, you can use a chair, or if you don't wanna do it that way, you can just do the hip thrusts on the floor. So we'll have a good time with them. We'll get a really good range of motion, but always choose your own adventure. And then you'll see that red thing on top of the bench. We'll use that as well. You can use anything that'll just give you a couple inches of lift under your feet. We'll talk about that on our second set. But first, let's get going. Grab our weights. And you can hold low if you want to. The nice thing about holding it low is it's going to be a little bit easier to lift that weight back up as we come up, but it is a little bit tempting to lean forward into it that way, which is not what we want to do. So I personally like to hold it up high. That's going to help me keep my chest up nice and high as I come down and up, even though that's going to be a little bit more work for the abs, which is not a bad thing. So we're going to start off with a set of sumo squats. So we're going to step especially wide, and we'll turn our toes out this time to about 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, so a little bit wider than usual. This is probably going to be a slightly easier squat for you in a lot of ways, but please remember that there's the temptation to drop your knees in as you go down. We want to avoid that temptation. Keep your knees wide, pulling towards your pinky toes, and then sit back as far as you can without breaking your posture, and as long as you can get back up again. We're going to inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. So an extra challenge, you can pretend that you are the crane game at Winco, and you can reach down and pretend you're picking up a prize. You want to get that good deep squeeze on the way back up. If that's too gross for you, don't think about it that way. I think it works. Down and up. So I'm going to do 4 more. We'll call that 15. If I'm wrong, which I probably am, please feel free to do the right number. Knees are wide, belly is strong, and we're breathing. Okay, I'm gonna set that down, and now I'm gonna pull out my squishy lift thing. Probably has a name. This is, it's just a big piece of rubber that we have in the gym. We can do all sorts of stuff with it. Use it as a balance beam and things like that to work on people's stability. But what we're gonna do today is we're gonna put our heels up on it, toes on the floor. Odds are you don't have one of these in your house, but anything that gives you a little bit of lift will help you. A book, a block, something that feels stable. A pair of high-heeled shoes, not too high. And then we're gonna step our feet out on the block or book or whatever, just about somewhere around shoulder width apart, give or take. Your toes will probably turn out just a little bit, but not excessively. Same rules apply. If you want to have the weight out in front of you and low, you can do that. If you want to have it up a little higher, you can do that. So we got weight in our heels, we got weight in the balls of our feet, and we're going to come quite low this time. Now, you don't have to come as low as I'm coming, but that lift under the heels is going to give you more range of motion than you thought you did. That's why we dance so much better in high heels. We can get down there. We're not hampered by our tight ankles. Now, everybody's going to be a little different on this. So if that's as low as you can go, that's fine. The fact that you're doing it is the most important part. I love these because I have tight ankles, and it's the only way I'm going to get that level of flexion at the knee. That means I also need to work on stretching my ankles, which is true, and it's something that I do. I'm just not going to do that on camera. This feels so great. sticking the hips back, the knees bend, but they don't move, right? They're not coming all the way out there. We're keeping that weight back and pushing into the heels as we come up. I'm gonna do 5 more. And I'm still gonna call that 15. So good. Breath in, breath out. But as long as your airway is open, you're breathing, and you're engaging your abdominals, this is gonna work for you. So good. I'm gonna set that down for a second. I'm gonna move that guy out of the way. Bam. All right, we're gonna do 2 sets of hip thrusts now. You can use the weight or not use the weight. First set, we're gonna put our shoulder blades on our chair, on our bench, whatever it is that you wanna lift up on. Be careful that you don't drop a weight on your toes. Always paying attention. I'm gonna hold that weight right at my hip crease, which doesn't feel terribly comfortable. So if you don't want to do that, you can push it down toward the thigh a little bit, or you just put the weight away. But I'm gonna move my heels in, gonna get comfy on my shoulder blades. Head could go back. Usually I tuck it down a little bit because it feels better. But we're just gonna take our hips way down and then way up. Inhaling on the drop and exhaling as we lift. This is a really fun one because you get such a good stretch in that glute, and then boom. We know we don't ever get isolation in any of our muscle groups down there or anywhere, but it's a pretty great way to target that glute. All right, so my bench is moving, so I'm gonna keep situating. It's a little bit of a slippery floor. Know your environment, keep yourself safe. One more thing about this, and I've mentioned it before, as we come up, your glutes are gonna try and open the knees out. Don't do that. Go ahead and let them just squeeze in toward each other, just like a little hug. Doesn't have to be aggressive. 8, 7. I hope I'm doing 20 of these. I could do these all day. I like to think about how round I'm making my booty, fighting my genetic Scottish destiny. Oh, do you like these? Let me know if you like these. We'll do them again. So how do you get out of that? Carefully. Know your surroundings. I'm gonna put that down. I'm gonna reach that back in. Our last set, we're gonna be down on the floor. We're gonna do essentially the same thing, but from the other direction. So just a slight different pressure on your body. You can, again, use the weight, or you can forgo that part, because just this really big range of motion is gonna do all sorts of fabulous things. I'm gonna use the weight. So I'm gonna put it right there on my pubic bone. I can take my legs out a little bit wider if I want to. I can even do a diamond position if I wanted to. I'm gonna take them about shoulder width apart. And I'm just gonna push to lift the hips and then back down. Push to lift and down. So good. 8. I forgot to put a mat down, so I'm sliding around a little bit. Push and drop. Do you like these? Squeezing your glutes like you're making fists. I'm gonna do 4 more. You can do 15 to 20 of these. It is a little bit of abdominal work too, so you feel like maybe you're double teaming your body there, getting all of that good core work from start to finish. All right, I slid in under 10 minutes again. Great work, guys. I will see you tomorrow.